Let us now see about muscle tissues. So muscle tissues, they consist of fibers, and these fibers, they are made up of fine fibrils which are called as myofibrils. In muscles they are found, so it is called as myofibrils. Muscle fibers are able to contract and relax. Because of this property, they help in the movement of the body. So basically, muscles are of three types. They are the skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle. The skeletal muscle, it is also called as striated muscle. It is called as striated muscle. Why is it called as striated muscle? Because when you see under microscope, you can see certain dark and light lines. The striations we can see. Because we can see the striations and it appears as dark and light bands, these muscles are also called as skeletal muscles. So these muscles we can see in the bicep muscles. So bicep muscles have skeletal muscles. Connective tissue, a sheath of connective tissue encloses several bundles of these muscle fibers. So if you see the muscle fibers, you can see as bundled structure. You can see as many bundle-like structures, right? So if you see, it has connective sheath surrounded, and within them you have the muscle fibers. Okay, so like this, if you have many of these bundles, right? So this is your muscle bundle. Okay. So here we are seeing the diagram for skeletal muscle. This is a smooth muscle and this is your cardiac muscle. So here you see the bands, that is the striations which are present in the skeletal muscle. And you can see the smooth muscles which are spinnerform, also called as fusiform. We will come to the theory of it. And you can see in cardiac muscle, they are branched and also they show striations even in cardiac muscle. So let's see the theory part. The smooth muscle fibers, they taper at both the ends. The smooth muscle fibers, they taper at both ends. So you could see in the diagram, we have seen that they have sharp edges at both the ends. And this kind of shape is called as fusiform. And smooth muscles, they are non-striated. Smooth muscles are non-striated. They are non-striated because we do not see any striations in case of smooth muscles. So what holds this smooth muscle? Cell junctions. We have studied three types of cell junctions previously. So these cell junctions will hold these together, will hold the smooth cells together. So you can see the blood vessels, stomach, intestine, all these walls of the blood vessels, stomach and intestine are made up of smooth muscles. Okay, so smooth blood vessels, the function of blood vessels, smooth or intestine, can we control? We cannot control. So they are involuntary in function. So these smooth muscles are involuntary in function. So now we come to the third type, which is cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscles, where is it found? It is found in the heart. So heart is made up of cardiac muscle tissue. So heart, can we control the functioning of heart? No, we cannot control the functioning of heart. So it is involuntary muscle. right? And what will fuse these cardiac muscles together? Again, the cell junctions fuse the cardiac muscles together. The cell junctions fuse the plasma membrane of cardiac muscles. What is the plasma membrane? It is the outer layer of the cell which binds all the inner part. That the cytoplasm, nucleus, other organelles, everything is bound by the plasma membrane. So these cell junctions will hold the cardiac muscles together. So these cardiac muscles have communication junctions or intercalated disc. They have intercalated disc or communication junctions, right, which will receive the signal. Okay, it will pass the signal from through these communication junctions to the neighboring cells. So if one cell receives the signal, it will pass that signal to its neighboring cells, and thus it will bring about contraction. So this is your textbook diagram where we are seeing the skeletal muscles or the striated muscles here. This is the smooth muscles which are tapering at the edges, and these are called as fusiform shape. And here you have the branched cardiac muscles, right? So here you have the sections of the skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, and the cardiac muscle. So let us see what these striations are. So here we are talking of striations. What are these striations? How do they look? They look like these lines which are there. So here we are seeing under high magnification. The skeletal muscle we are seeing under high magnification. You can see these lines. These lines are the striations. So this is your smooth muscle, and here you can see the smooth muscle under high magnification. So you can see that at the edges these cells are pointed, so they form the fusiform shape. Next we shall see the neural tissue. So neural tissue, it basically has two types of cells. One is the neurons, right? Neurons is the unit of the neural system, and these are the cells which get excited. These are the excitable cells. That means it takes up the information that is coming, and it also gives out the information. So these are excitable cells. So other than the neurons, you also have another type of cell which is called as neuroglial cells. So in the nervous tissue, that is neural tissue, you have two types of cells. One is the neuron. One is the neuron and other is the glial cell. So other than neuron, the remaining part of the nervous tissue is filled with the glial cells. Okay, so neuroglia make up more than 1/2 of the volume of neural tissue. So rest of it is neurons. Yes, when a neuron is suitably stimulated, an electrical disturbance is generated which swiftly travels along its plasma membrane. So the plasma membrane of the neuron will take up the signal that it is receiving, right? So if you remember the class 9 and 10, you have studied the structure of neuron. We will discuss about the